Aboye, Aboshisha Goto. I'm gonna start the day with praying to Eshu on Ifade. Bullshit to Eleegua Maniko, Eleegua Mayoko, Eleegua Fon Huntele, Sele, Eleegua, Mawaki, Eshu, sure bita, sure data look Rabono to Bajay, Leso, Gu, Alagara, Fesiquita, Mojuba, Bobolona, Eshu, Ashe, Eshu, Ile Mopel, Seti Bremopel, Olomi Tutu Mopel, Lomite, Gay Mopel, Abeni Damopel, Ash Mopel, Shumopel, Shumopel, Eshu come off from Obi or Robo Apple OT today. Kosi fo kosi jamba kosi temole kosi dina kosi wahala kosi fitibu kosi waboboro eshu mobile funa lafi funa la funa fa chef funa de tete wa pole funa gboto funa mo fun suru fun ifara bana fun ya fun mo fun bon che eshu we come offering you all Orogba eshu accept these Orogba so we read you what be Orogba Ashe Baba. True. We come out from you. Obi Banje. 3 low cola. Boro boy shisha. Eshu. Accept these. Oh, my next 5 days be needed. Ashe. Eshu. Ward off all death, sickness, cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and all fights, ward off witchcraft. Negative energy for us. The apple is kind of funny today. Otura is he who can drink the wretches he can buy. Ose Ifa for Renaissance. I will drink the liquor of success. Asha. Okay, I bought her up, boy, folks. Good to see you. Orunmila let it bring the cage or a lot of money. Aje Juko na be tipu Jokuda. Olomi to Ibaja. Orobi Gujibo. Lomi Chiki Ogiga and Bayego. Lulu Tindo, man, Trinity Cosmose. I'm going to go get a lobo. No, man, one more time. Come on, Tankushi, Niba Sheke. What about Kora, Korati, Kobo by Nifa? What about Sherati, Kobo by Animara? Okay, we got like 3 ifas laid out in front of me today. Bam, bam, bam. Alright, Ifa. Here come propitiating you with OB and Oropo today. If I ward off death, sickness, cases, controversy, ward off fights, litigation, losses, and fights, ward off evil, negative energy, bring forth longevity, prosperity, victory, adversity, peace of mind, joy, healing, and all the good things of life. I share. Ifa, do you accept these Orogos from reads with Obi? Oh man. Orunmila. Accept these Orogos. woman. Do you accept these robots and each of the Asha? Bless our Jola, and also bless my sister Tandasizwa Shemaringa, who's in the hospital right now. Asha. I got her Ifa over here. Her Ifa is making an appearance. Bam! Alright. Kosi ku, kosi fo, kosi jamba, kosi temele, aboro boy go shisha. Ifa, well, my next 5 days being there. I'll be up. Yeah. Ashe, what type of it there? Aiku, Ifa, to help so that Tani and Awajola have it just apple tea. Apple tea oyin. Apple tea. Just want me to that ifas. Ashe. Want me to. If I would pray for Awajola and Tani Shimaringa. Guru, wait, if I follow the apples of Namos on the Macnabo. Guru, wait. Oh, drink it. You could buy Castify for running some. I will drink secret of success. If I become offering Oti. All right, Abodora boy, folks, how are you guys doing? Oh my goodness. Interesting day. What of all death and sickness? Bring forth all the good things in life, Orunmila. Guide us, direct us, and protect us, and keep us safe. All right, so how's everyone today? I pray that everyone is doing well. Let me see how I'm gonna set this up. All right, so Abodora boy. So today I want to chant a verse of otura meji on the subject of how Ifa feels about wickedness. So Ifa says on otura meji, if you do good, you do so for yourself. If you do wickedness, you do so for yourself. These were the declarations of Ifa to the blind man when going to beg for alms in the house of land. He was advised for Ebo. He complied. Not too long, soon after, join us in the midst of victory over adversity. Victory over adversity is what one enjoys at the foot of the holy palm tree. All right, so this story goes as such. There was a blind man, and the blind man had one of the best styles of begging in the world because it was kind of like a blessing and a curse in a way. So anytime anybody gave to the blind man, so the blind man would have his cup out and he'd be sitting there and then he'd get some change, boom, boom, and then he would say, if you do good, you do so for yourself. If you do wickedness, you do so for yourself. And so many people looked at that as such a blessing. So they're like, oh man, the blind man is such a cool guy. And every time he says this, I feel blessed. But the Oba was kind of offended by that. The Oba was somewhat of a wicked man, and he was like, who is this blind man to have such level of esoteric philosophy and riddle, and for him to say such a flip statement to people for them to be blessed and this and that. The Oba was like, this is weird to have such a wise blind man. Such wisdom should not be in a beggar. And the beggar shouldn't say such powerful things. So as a result, the Oba then, he summoned the blind man, but before he summoned the blind man, he summoned his hunters. And his hunters went and procured a live cobra. And they put the cobra in a bag, and the Oba then summoned the blind man and, hyped the blind man up, and he said, hey, here, we wanted to give you a gift because of your need and also for your level of wisdom. So the Oba gives the blind man the bag, and the blind man, being blind, of course, he thinks, oh, this is pangolin. There's a pangolin in this bag. So he was excited, and he takes the bag and wraps it and puts it on his back, and he goes on his way. The king is like, yeah, we got him. We got him. This will be the end of this philosophically arrogant blind man. So as a result, as the blind man's walking, he meets Iremo, which it's known as the heir apparent, but he's also looked at as the son of the king. And the son of the king, who's also arrogant and wicked, he comes and he saw the blind man with this gift, and he could see no reason why the blind man should have a gift. Why should when the king gives the blind man this gift, the blind man, of course, says, if you do good, it is for yourself. If you do wickedness, it is for yourself. So he comes with that course throughout the process. And then, so as I said before, the blind man meets the heir apparent, or the Iremo, who is the son of the king. And the son of the king, being just as wicked as his father, comes along, and he does not feel like the blind man deserves a gift. Why is this blind man walking around with money? Why is this blind man walking around with all these positive and good things? So as a result, the Iremo then decides he's going to rob the blind man and take this bag from him. And of course, when he takes the bag, the blind man says, well, Ashe, if you do good, it is for yourself. If you do wickedness, it is for yourself. And then as he does that, then the Iremo later reaches into the bag, and of course he's killed by the cobra that his father put into the bag. So in this regard, when the Oba finally sees the lifeless body of his son on the roadside, he then remembers the blind man's words. If you do good, it is for yourself. If you do wickedness, it is for yourself. So as a result, the Oba, because of his guilty conscience and knowing his own bad deeds, he did not retaliate against the blind man, because he, in essence, caused the problem. So this Ifa is talking about the need to have an idea of doing unto others as you would have them do for you. To take the old adage, if you are trying to bring good into the world, then bring good into the world. Bring good into the world with the people that you meet. If you want to bring evil into the world, it will only lead to your own destruction. And that goes all around. But this is very important, particularly with this Ifa verse, otura meji, because along with this, and otura meji is there's very deep and ancient wisdom, because it's also saying be very calm and slow to anger. There's another story in otura meji where Orunmila wanted to gain a certain level of wisdom and be the wisest man. And so in order for him to do this, he had to go back to heaven. And it takes a certain amount of years, maybe about 3 years, to go to heaven. So he takes this journey, leaves his wife and his young son, goes back to heaven. He's given this wisdom. Part of the wisdom is, okay, meditate on this and say it 1,000 times for the next something like 1,000 days. This is what he's told, to say the words, if the wind is blowing, don't stand by a tree, and figure out how many meanings he could come up with that. So then he comes back after basically 3 years and says, okay, I've done that. And then he's given Baola Dumari another task. All right, now think about this statement and meditate on that for another 3 years. This statement is, if the river is filled to the brim, don't get into the river. So he thinks about that and comes back, and then he comes back and is given another statement to meditate on for the next 3 years. And that statement is something along the lines of, do not become angry unnecessarily. Always get all sides of the issue. So he goes and he meditates on that for 3 years. So that's 3 years going to heaven, another 3 years meditating, another 9 years meditating on those 3 proverbs. So that's 9, 10, 11, 12. And then it takes him another 3 years to get back to earth. So that's not 12 years. So basically it takes him about 15 years to matriculate and get the highest wisdom on earth. And he goes back with 2 of the rich men of heaven, the rich man of heaven and I believe the rich man of earth, and they have tons of wealth. First, he's coming to heaven. He's coming from heaven to earth with these men, and he comes there. And as he gets back, as they're on their way, they come across various challenges. So, one, the rich man of heaven, I believe, has his followers and all this money, and then the wind is blowing, and he decides to stand by a tree. Orunmila says, I remember the wisdom says, don't stand by a tree if it's windy. And he tries to tell the rich man of heaven, and the rich man of heaven ignores him. The tree falls on him, kills him. So all the wealth then and followers of the rich man of heaven are given to Orunmila. Then they continue on their path back to heaven, back to earth, and they come across a river. And the rich man of earth, with his followers, he decides, you know what, this, so what, this river is filled to the brim. I'm going to get in and I'm going to try and get across. So he's the first one. He jumps in the water, tries to get across, and Orunmila remembers the wisdom. He says, hey, don't get into the river. It's filled to the brim. Be careful. Rich man of heaven decides not to listen, jumps in the water, and ends up dying. They bury his body and continue on the path back to Orunmila's house, with Orunmila now having all of the rich man of earth's followers and the rich man of heaven's followers. He then makes it to his home. And as he gets to his house, 15 years later, he looks in to peer in on his wife, because he's going to surprise her with all this wealth and wisdom that he's acquired over the past 15 years. He goes in, and as he knocks on the door, he sees his wife in bed with another man. Orunmila thinks about grabbing his machete And then he thinks better of it. And he's like, The other piece of wisdom was don't get angry unnecessarily until you've seen all sides. So Orunmila goes and he cools off. He's like, oh my God, this is too much. Takes a break and goes to sleep, and he decides he's going to deal with it in the morning. So then Orunmila wakes up in the morning, sees his wife. His wife is excited to see him. And then she says, Orunmila, this is your son. So anyway, my storytelling skills are funny, but in essence, the person who Orunmila's wife was in the bed with was her own son, who had grown up. And because Orunmila wasn't around, the only person that was there was her son, so they confided in each other, and they were very close. So Orunmila then understood the true wisdom of the world in that regard. So, in essence, Ifa is teaching us in otura meji not to be wicked, and also to analyze all sides, and also to have very deep wisdom, because you'll be very blessed. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about for today. I pray that everyone has a wonderful week. Aboro, Aboye, Aboshishe will be back on Friday, and I pray that everyone has a wonderful day and a wonderful